Hey everyone, we're live. These videos are never easy to make, and I'm not even quite sure myself how to do the intro for this thing. But the news hit probably about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, and we wanted to do a video for it and get the news across and talk about his life. But as you can see from the title, as you've probably heard already, Stan Lee, the co-creator of Marvel Comics, has passed away at the age of 95. Cause of death hasn't been announced yet, but it's been mentioned that he's had some health problems this year. Obviously, at the age of 95, first off, it's an age not to be sniffed at, but it's said that he did have some health complications with like bouts of pneumonia and things like that, but nothing official has been announced yet. Yeah, and we kind of just wanted to talk about it, process it a little bit, because obviously this is still fresh. We're all comic book, we're all Marvel fans on the channel. Even like for me, for example, like even though I know obviously of all the characters and some of the main stories, but I've never really been a comic book reader, so I'm coming at this more for the fact of what this guy has created in his lifetime, the amount of characters, the millions of people that he's touched the hearts of as well with his characters and his stories, and sort of like the movies and what they've become over the years. So that's where really I'm coming from this. But I think you're probably more of a comic book reader than myself.
Yeah. I think we may have lost Chris there for a second.
Oh, are we good? Are we good? Hello?
A really good life. He has been a model without the entirety of the comic book and kind of fandom community. It was really sad to kind of see the news. It immediately completely blew me away. He's been such a big influence on my life as far as the comic books that I have read of his. Spider-Man was the first comic book I ever read. And the fact that we've been able to have in recent years comic book films come alive because of his creations is fantastic. And I think the one thing that a lot of people will remember him for, some people only know him through, is his cameos that he has in those films.
Mm-hmm.
He is possibly one of the greatest characters that is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the moment, as the person who pops up in every single film. And I know that it has been stated that he's going to be, he's filmed all of his cameos for the future films coming up in front of a green screen. But either way, it's going to be really sad to know that he has passed away.
Yeah.
And I know that this will bring the comic book community together. Events like this always happen. And it's just kind of, it's going to be something which is going to be a huge blow to everyone who's ever loved anything which is based around a comic book.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, George on our channel, he couldn't make it for this live stream, unfortunately, but he did leave a comment and he said that Stan Lee is one of the greatest creators in the history of literature, and he's absolutely heartbroken. And I mean, if we look at some of the characters, just a fraction of the characters that he created, he could have just created one of these characters and that would have been good enough. But, like Spider-Man, X-Men, Thor, Iron Man, Black Panther, Fantastic Four, that's to name a few of the characters that he's created or co-created over the years. And as I said, like, those are characters, obviously they're characters that are still going today. These characters were created like, oh God, way back when, was like the 50s or around that time. Some of them, I think like Fantastic Four, I'm not exactly sure on the date of that. But these characters are still going strong today, stronger than ever. And one of the things that I'm happy for him that he's managed to see is that in terms of his films, the longevity they've had and what has now been created with the cinematic universe. I know that I was reading an article somewhere saying that he had some kind of dispute in the early 2000s regarding film rights and things like that with the first Spider-Man film, but that was all settled, and I think he'd been proud. Like, obviously he cameos in all of his films, so he definitely has a part in them. But to be that creator, to be that person that back in the day would have like been penciling or like whatever like ideas down for these characters and stories, to see what they've become, highest grossing movies of the year, half of them. I think it's pretty special, and I'm glad that he did live to see them hit the highest heights with the likes of Infinity War, for example.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say he's one of those people in the world where his range of influence will not be forgotten. His work has influenced many genres and has influenced many other creators along the years. And he has inspired, I'd say, more than millions, billions maybe, to go out there and dream of being superheroes. And that's the way that he lived his life. He was a real life kind of superhero in society. People looked up to him. I heard that he was always a good person around a convention, always happy to take a photo. He will be deeply missed by the community, but I will say he will not be forgotten.
Yeah.
He is one of those people who is ingrained into the minds of almost everyone. And however sad his passing is, what he has done with his life and his career and what he has built with Marvel Comics, it's incredible. It's beyond belief. And I hope that he is proud of what he's done with his life, because everyone else is proud of him.
It's definitely going to be a tough blow to the superhero community, comics, geek community in general. Also kind of like, you know, in the realm of literature as well, in some way, in like the characters that he's created. But I mean, we don't want to like belabor this video or anything, because it is still pretty fresh for us, but we did want to have some kind of video tribute in some way, whatever you want to call it, where we're kind of processing this news. One of my favorite, if we're talking about like favorite cameos and stuff, and I guess this will sort of be a good line to end on. It's actually one from Spider-Man 3, and the quote reads as such, and this was, you know, read by Stan Lee in the movie. You know, I guess one person can make a difference, Nuff said. And I don't think there's probably any quote that perfectly sums up the guy's life and what he's created than that line right there. So I guess we're going to leave the video there. As I said, like, I'm not really, I don't really know how to get this video across or to like round it off or anything like that. But
I'd like to say Excelsior, because that was what he always said. So Excelsior, Stan Lee, you will not be forgotten.
And I mean, I guess we can pass over to you guys, like in the comments, like share your condolences, some of your favorite memories of Stan Lee or his characters. It'd be nice to get this video as kind of like a little tribute piece to him almost on our channel. So that'll do it for us for this video, and yeah, we'll see you in our next video. Bye guys.